Hi everyone, welcome back to Snowball Sports. Today we have Ashna Sandesha. She's a performance psychologist. She's done her master's in sports and exercise psychology, and currently she's working with athletes from the grassroots all the way to the elite level. So welcome to the show, Ashna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So I have a couple of questions for you about sports psychology in general, and then I kind of wanted to go through a couple of clips of elite athletes just to get your take on it.
Yeah.
So should we start with the clips first?
Sure.
Okay, so first I'm going to show Ashna a clip of Djokovic. And can you walk us through what he's exactly talking about in the clip or what he's doing and why this kind of helps with their performance? Like why these mental techniques sometimes help?
Sure.
Work. You train for the mental side the way you would your serve or your forehand. How?
Absolutely. Well, there are different techniques. Conscious breathing is a big part, especially in the moments when you're under tension.
I think a lot of people think, oh, in the moment.
Okay, so can you just walk us through
Yeah.
what he was talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that one before.
Okay.
It's quite viral. So I think my answer is in two parts. One is the first half of this video where the interviewer actually says like, you're so gifted mentally, and
Yes.
he corrects it, right?
Mental strength, which is what I think is your great gift, is much harder to articulate. Can you
I would
help
have to
us
correct
explain?
you. I would have to
Yeah,
correct
all
you.
right,
It's not a
correct.
gift. It's something that comes with work.
Yeah.
He says, I actually train for it, and there's a lot of work that goes into it, which I think we're going to shed some light later on
Yeah.
today as well. But that, right, that anything any athlete does, it is trained and it is worked on, and it's not something they naturally have the same way.
Yeah.
However talented you are, you work on your skill.
Yeah.
The mental side is a skill as well. Breathwork specifically, I feel like is such an integral part of performance and mental performance. I feel like the breath acts like a bridge between the mental and the physical.
Okay.
And every athlete uses it differently. So we can have a hype up or a hype down routine in which if you feel like your heart rate is too high or you're too hyper or you're
Yeah.
too worried or nervous, your breath can regulate your heart rate to bring it down. Whereas
Fair.
if you feel like I'm not supercharged or I'm a little bit like distracted, then your breath can actually get you super focused.
Like a recharge almost, like a reset.
It's a regulator, I
Okay,
would say,
fine,
of
fine.
your breath is directly linked to your heart rate.
Okay.
And it is also directly linked to sending you into the sympathetic or parasympathetic, like nervous response.
Okay. And just for the people listening, like what is sympathetic and parasympathetic?
Yeah, so I'll just to simplify
Yeah.
it, it is the difference between when you're in fight and flight
Oh,
and super
okay.
anxious and super,
Yeah.
like I have to wait, I'm
Nervous
super
and
nervous, I'm super
yeah.
weak, versus like rest and digest, which is
Okay.
like I'm super chill, I'm super calm,
Fair.
which can go like you don't even want to be too
No,
chill,
no,
you
because
know?
then you're not like in it enough. I
Exactly.
feel like for
exactly.
you to be.
So I find that breath work, and it's something that all the athletes that I've worked with, we talk about, is something that can help you at any point, you
Yeah.
know, in your training, in your matches.
Yeah.
And it can be this anchor that you
Okay.
come back to.
Fair.
And I think it's like he said, consciously, mindfully, when you're using
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it has so many different
like
uses.
so many positive benefits that like
Yeah.
either like you said, either like if you are on court and maybe things are not going on your way, or
Yeah.
you're getting stressed about certain things, and like I mean we know I don't know if you watched the French Open recently, where there was a lot of talk about Arina Sabalenka. Like
Yeah.
there was a factor of the wind that kind of caught her out, but then she went in this sort of spiral which she never got out of. I think it was just anxiousness after anxious, like you know, it's like snowballing into something bigger.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe in that situation, like if you take some time out, just refocus with your breathing and kind
Yeah.
of, you know, not reset. You said kind of neutralize, regulate your
Yeah.
heartbeat and be like, okay,
Yeah.
no, I've got this. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's so hard
Yeah.
for anyone to know exactly what was happening at that moment.
Yeah.
But in general, the same way an athlete needs to have a strong smash,
Yeah.
or a tennis player needs to have
Yeah.
a good serve, I think breath work is one of those skills that
Yeah.
just everyone needs to know how to regulate their breath
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
how they use it is kind of up to them.
Fair enough. I do want to come back to this later with some questions about this, but we'll move on to the next clip. Okay. So the next clip,
My favorite.
Yeah. The next clip that I'm showing Ashna is Michael Phelps,
Okay.
and she's going to go walk us through the technique that he's been using all these years and why it helps his performance.
You know, for me to improve, I had to get stronger mentally, and I had to find a way to do it. And I think my coach helped me get through that process and learn more. So for me, like when I would visualize, I visualize every single. I mean, getting up to a meet, I would visualize probably a month or so in advance, just of what could happen, what I want to happen, and what I don't want to happen. Because when it happened, I was prepared for it.
Okay, visualization.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, so Michael Phelps is talking about visualization in this, but I do sometimes think like people throw around the term a little bit
Yeah.
also, like,
Agreed.
and also I think sometimes merge it with manifestation, which I don't think are the same things, obviously.
Absolutely,
So, can you first just talk about, like what is visualization and why has it helped one of the best athletes in the world so much? Like,
Yeah,
what-
yeah. I said that because I use him as an example a lot in
Alright.
sessions to explain
Yeah.
visualization, because you're right that it, with the awareness that has come around mental performance, now like everyone loves using the word visualization, and I think
Yeah.
it's really important to understand how to use it,
Yeah.
because done right it's so powerful, but
Yeah.
done wrong it could be really harmful and
Yeah.
not super helpful at all. So where manifestation or imagining yourself doing something is almost like picturing the outcome,
Correct.
where you're seeing yourself on the podium or you're
Yeah.
seeing yourself achieving something, whereas visualization is the process around it of like, how am I doing that, right?
Okay.
And specifically around this clip that you showed me is also similar to more recently the next one, the
Yeah.
NBA, and Jalen Brunson just said, right, like you're allowed to visualize or imagine the worst case scenario,
Yeah.
something like that. He said, but you have to do something about it.
Yeah, like you can't let that visual image in your head be a negative thought, rather use that visualization to, okay, be like, okay, this is what the worst case scenario can be. These are the steps I'm going to take so
in case that happens,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, like what am I going to do?
Yeah, yeah.
So visualization as a skill, as a neuroscience, from a psych background, is essentially this idea of mental rehearsal of
Okay.
every time you imagine doing something
Yeah,
versus when you actually do it, the neurons that fire are the same.
Okay.
And so it's
Oh,
just like
interesting,
getting
yeah.
one more rep in.
yeah,
And how athletes can use it
Yeah.
is, this is where you work with your psychologist, you work with your mental health
Yeah.
professional to figure out what type of visualization works for you.
Yeah.
And then put in those reps.
Yeah, correct.
Of
yeah.
whether it's, you know, imagining yourself on match day, visualizing a practice session, visualizing, you know, what could go wrong and what you want to do about
Yeah.
it, what could go right and what you want to
Yeah,
do about
yeah,
it.
correct.
It's simply mental preparation and rehearsal through
To prepare you.
yeah, like a solution-oriented
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah, instead of like being like, oh, I just like, it's more like, yeah, solution as opposed to like a wish.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but manifestation is like, okay, you want this in your life and it's more like a wish or a desire.
Yeah.
And the visualization part is more about like, okay, this is my goal or this is what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
And then you need to work backwards and be like, okay, these are the steps I need to take to do it.
Exactly,
Which I
exactly.
guess Michael Phelps, also not in this video, but like over time, he's kind of spoken about how he's sometimes visualized scenarios where he actually, his goggles, swimming goggles break.
Yeah.
And then he's visualized scenarios where he's done drills after that to kind of practice, like say I'm visualizing myself and my swimming goggles break in one of the most important swim
Yeah.
like competitions.
Yeah.
What will I do? So then he works backwards and he's like, okay, I kind of, if my glasses had broken, this is how I would need to train
Exactly.
to kind of compensate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like manifestation is great, and it's
Yeah.
so important to picture yourself,
Yeah, yeah.
achieve the things that you want to do. But then you have to take, like you said, those steps back and
Yeah.
be like, okay, how am I getting there?
Yeah.
if my goggles, we do this a lot with our swimmers, is,
Okay.
a lot of them, a common fear is like my glasses will turn up, or,
You'll lose them or whatever.
Whatever, right?
So do you
But,
purposely hide them sometimes?
so Michael Phelps' coach used to do that,
Oh,
right?
nice.
That,
Okay.
First he used to visualize the broken goggles, then his coach would actually go and break the goggles
Oh,
sometimes.
no ways.
And then that's what happened in the Olympics, right? His
Yeah.
goggles broke, and
And he did, I think, like one of his best times.
he broke
that-
his record that race, and he won the gold. And
That's
it's-
crazy. Yeah.
it really tells you, like, done right,
Yeah.
these skills can really do wonders.
Yeah. And of course, this is just a disclaimer not to say that manifestation is not
Yeah,
a good practice. It's just like there's more to
To it,
manifestation
exactly.
than.
And I think that's like, I don't know if this is a sidetrack, so
Yeah.
please stop me.
No, of course.
But I think that is the difference between the psych aspect of it, right? Like why I do what I do
Yeah.
within performance psychology is I get to bring in the literature and the
Yeah.
theory and the
Yeah.
what psychology and what the research has to say about
Yeah.
backing these processes.
Fair
that
enough.
I think it's so awesome that people have people that they look up to. Athletes are now, like, as they retire, they are
Yeah.
motivating younger athletes
Yeah.
and giving them the motivation side of it and the
Yeah. The mental,
the
like,
practical
yeah,
side of it.
exactly, both
but
sides.
And I can like my role is to complement that
Yeah,
and to
yeah.
provide the theory and the
Yeah.
understanding and the logic behind
Yeah,
why we
behind
do
the
what we
actual
do.
practical guidance and experience that
Yeah.
a lot of pro athletes are now
Exactly.
giving.
Exactly.
The final clip is about Nadal. Asha's is going to walk through it again and tell us like why what Nadal does with his rituals is super important for his enhancing his performance. Again, it could help him, but not others. But this is just something he does before every match.
When the ball boy puts the fallen water bottle right side up, everyone bursts into laughter. Making sure the logo on the water bottle faces the net is one of Nadal's 12 routines. When entering the court, he always steps in with his right foot, holds a racket in his left hand, and carries a bag with 5 rackets in his other hand. Before serving, he adjusts his pants, sweeps his hair back, touches his nose, and then finally serves the ball. Additionally, 45 minutes before the match, he must take a cold shower, ensure his socks are at the same height, and if he's moving around, he always has to run. When switching courts or after breaks, he only moves after his opponent stands up. After every point, he wipes his entire body with a towel. He follows these 12...
Okay. So, can
Yeah.
you walk us through what he just did? And
Yeah,
what-
performance routines, right? A lot of people call it his rituals. I prefer using the word performance routines, and this is another skill that we train with a lot of the athletes that we work with, is any sort of action, routine, behavior repeated
Yeah.
gives you a sense of familiarity, consistency, and then from that you can draw confidence.
Yeah.
It's funny because part of that clip, like, they showed the routine and then he served and it went in the
Yeah,
net.
exactly.
And so that's the difference I like to draw between routines and superstitions or rituals.
Yeah.
Because a superstition will say, if I do this, I will win.
Yeah.
If I do this, I will win the point.
Yeah.
You know, which is not how it works.
It's not true. Like, I feel like, it's good you brought that up because I think Nadal has come out and also often said that I'm not, like, some people have termed it as his OCD, some people have termed it as superstition, but he's actually just said it just helps me focus.
Yeah, exactly.
I think more than anything, like you said, the familiarity of his routine, like doing certain things, stops him from thinking about other things that distract him, which then just helps him focus during game time and
Exactly.
enhance his performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That performance routines are all about creating structures around you, pre-performance, during
Yeah.
performance, post-performance.
Yeah.
That you can rely on, that are
Yeah.
in your control. For a lot of cricketers, it's like
Like
velcroing
taping
their
your-
glove.
oh, okay, yeah.
It could be the number of times you bounce your ball, whatever it is.
Yeah.
As long as you're not associating it with a win and you're using it more to ground yourself in that moment,
Yeah.
it can really do wonders.
Fair
Like,
enough.
routines are so important
Yeah.
for athletes.
No, makes sense. But yeah, thank you for doing these clips.